Two friends try to navigate a dangerous world of organized crime, testing their loyalty and survival skills. Sure, we've seen this a million times before, but have we seen it with time-traveling, double-crossing, and genre-blending movie? Yeah, because this is what that is. Mike and Nick and Alice sounds like a bad law firm, first of all, Coco. This is Parallel Frequencies. I am just Blane. She is Coco. You are the freaks. What do you think about this movie, though, Coco? These four names. It's crazy, right?
Mike, Nick, Alice, Nick, Alice, Nick, and who? What?
I don't know. But that's what Feature Friday is going to be today. It is Friday. We are headed into the weekend. What's the weekend looking like for you, Coco? You getting to relax? Are you busy? What?
Oh, there's a million things going on. 3 kids invited to 3 different birthday parties. So many playing taxi, running them all over town, all over the place. And that's just what life is like when you've got, 3 boys in elementary school, and they all got their little friends. And then I've got prom. We talked about earlier in the week, right?
That's right. You and my lovely wife are going to prom together tomorrow night.
Yeah, we're leaving the husbands behind. I've been to prom with my husband more times than I can count on 2 hands. We've been to a lot of proms.
It's true.
And, he's an introvert, so he's like, do you have someone else you want to go with?
Yeah. And you were like, yeah, I do, Lindsay.
Yeah. I'm like, I'll have way more fun with my girlfriends than trying to convince him to come out on the dance floor. And
now,
dance,
I want people to know that this is not like a prom. This is like themed. It's adult prom. And I have seen the costumes, I call it costumes, coming in that Lindsay has been ordering. What's this theme? Because I see a bunch of flashy stuff. I've seen everything up there.
It's going to be a little wild this year, I think, because the last time I went, I didn't go last year, but the year before was like classic Hollywood.
Oh,
so you
yeah.
could still dress formal. You could really get like your, dresses and gloves on. I think last year they did like a Bridgerton themed kind of thing. But this year is cosmic or space disco.
Ooh, that's why I have seen planet-looking stuff and cosmic-looking stuff coming in the house from all over the place.
I hope I've done well to live up to the level that Lindsay is, but I just got my shoes.
You got them? Let's see them. Oh, now see, you guys are going to match because I've seen some of this. Look at that. I like the hearts on there.
Little sparkles.
Yeah.
This is cosmic. Listen, I'm going to wear these shoes all the time.
Oh, yeah.
This is not, when I got them, I was like, these. I'm going to wear them all the time.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. That makes sense. You and her are going to match. I've seen some of her crazy outfit that she's got tomorrow night, and it's going to be wild. You guys are going to have a good time. Like I said, I hope that I get a call that I got to come pick you guys up. Hopefully not in jail. But
yeah, we had a big old group. In fact, we had everybody choose a planet. We had a big group of ladies, and everybody was like, I'm this planet and I'm that planet. And, so that we'd have like a theme going on, and we were all going to go together. And you know how it goes, little by little.
People
are like, oh, I have something planned that night. I can't come. I can't. So our little group is dwindling
Yeah.
down. There might be just like a pocket of us, but that's all right. We'll still have a blast.
I found something that I would love to do on a weekend, and it goes with sleepaway camp that we talked about this week. Once again, rest in peace, Jonathan Tiersten. We lost him this week, but we covered sleepaway camp, and we were talking about how it'd be fun, right, to go to a sleepaway camp. Look what I found, Coco. Crystal Lake Tours. Primary filming location of Friday the 13th, Part 1. You can go out there and sleep. Look at this. This is where they filmed the movie.
Oh.
I want to do this. Here's the tour.
They need to make adult summer sleepaway camps.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that's kind of becoming a thing. It's like retreats, retreat stuff, but they make it so that it's like summer camp, like when you were kids. They need to do that here.
Look at this. June 5th, the first weekend opened up, $149 tickets. You can go. You get the tour. Where is this? Yeah, where is this? It's got to be up in like New York somewhere, right?
I bet it's New England.
New Jersey. New
Jersey.
Jersey. That's where they filmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they filmed Friday the 13th. That's where Crystal Lake is. But I found this and I was like, you know what? That's perfect for what we've been talking about. Yes, there's got to be a market for adult sleepaway camps that people want to do. There's got to be. If not, we should make that. We should get us a little camp.
I want the schedule posted. I want to know like when's archery so I can be like, all right, plan my day around what I want to do.
Exactly. Like that would be awesome.
Bunking with girls and
you got to be co-ed.
Boys have to stay somewhere else. They have to go on the other side.
Yeah, it's got to be co-ed. And it can't be none of that, BS going on. I want people to act like.
I want counselors to be like, it's lights off, ladies.
Lights off, ladies.
Be quiet, right?
When we have the dance to end the thing, it's going to be the counselors, hey, 2 feet apart when the people are dancing together. That's how we're going to act.
Get balloons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
but today, Feature Friday, we've got to go ahead and get into either the worst law firm name ever or one of the craziest titles of a film ever, really, with Mike and Nick and Alice.
Yeah, it was a bold move, I think. Bold choice.
Yeah, right. Vince Vaughn, James Marsden, and then you got Isa Gonzalez crushing it as well. And without her, this movie, I think James Marsden and Vince Vaughn just float off. I think they float off into whatever, doing their 90s nostalgia and Gilmore Girls talk, and that's the movie. But we got an incredible movie here that I was not expecting. Like I said in the intro, we get this story time and time again. It's the one last job trope, same old thing. But we got time travel. We got all this other genre blending stuff going on in this flick. What'd you think about this when I told you to go watch this movie, Coco?
I'm a huge fan of time travel movies.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've seen enough. Honestly,
No.
I think there's a lot more out there that I haven't seen. But I love the dynamic of discussing all of the variables and because some time travel movies, they stick to certain rules. Like you can't affect the future. You have to you can't run into yourself or, there's rules and all the things. But then there's some that kind of play with the idea that you can go back and you can change things and it will correct itself or there will be some trajectory of destiny involved. So then you get the mysticism of is destiny and fate written? Do you have a choice? All these cool things, parallel universes. I love it. We can get into it. But.
I love time travel movies as well. And I can't see enough of them either. And I love when people argue about time travel movies. They're like, oh, that's not right. How do you know?
I know. It's like we've got this knowledge.
Yeah, what knowledge? People argued about time travel. What knowledge do they have? Unless they came from the year 2058 or something, I'm not talking to them. I'm not listening to somebody argue about time travel because we don't know. But I love the movies.
There are videos out there. I don't know if you've seen. I forget what it's called, but I ran across some pretty creepy YouTube videos of a hairless guy, telling you he came from the future and all the things that are going to happen, and a lot of the stuff he said is happening. So I mean, I'm just saying.
It's true. It is true. There is some weird stuff going on. I mean, we got our own government putting out the UFO videos, the UAP videos today. So who knows? Time travel could be possible.
Yeah. I think people will be massively disappointed when they see what the government is releasing on UFOs.
Yeah. They're going to have to drip feed this or give us something good. But this movie, it starts off kind of normal, and then they kill somebody. It's wild. And Vince Vaughn is the sultan of fast talk. Like I said, James Marsden, a man who's been unfairly handsome for 3 decades straight. Am I correct?
He's like Paul Rudd, doesn't?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought this movie though, it was a lot. You got to watch it multiple times. It's a multiple watch flick because you're going to see something different. And
anything come on the second watch for you that you didn't catch in the first, or that you were like, ooh, I would have missed that?
The one thing that really stood out to me was that one last job trope. Mm-hmm. That's what stood out to me. It was like, okay, one last job, but in real life, are we attracted to that because we're all trying to find the exit ramp to our 9 to 5? You know, like, is that what? So I started looking at it and reflecting on real life stuff and thinking about it, and that's where I kind of landed on. So, what about you though?
Yeah, you know, I remember going through the DARE program in the 90s. Stick with me for a second. Hold on. I'm getting to something here. Remember, you know, we all did the DARE program. They did talk about gangs.
Yeah.
And I remember being extremely terrified. Not that I was really susceptible to being invited to a gang.
Yeah.
Demographic, gender, all the things. But I remember being like, I don't want to get involved in anything I can't get out of, right? Because they made it you feel like,
yeah,
get yourself into these gang-related things and there's no getting out. Like, the only way out is death or jail, you know, prison. So it terrified me that more than it should have. I was like, I can't say yes to anything that I can't get myself out of. Like, that there's not an exit plan or, you know, a way out. But that's why this trope, you know, James Marsden playing this character where he's like, I'm retiring, I'm going to be done. I was like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You decide to be done. They're going to suck you back in. And I was right. Pegged him for the rat, you know?
The movie, though, it really never stops. It's like you're hooked the entire time watching this thing. What is it, about 2 hours long, too? But it was highly entertaining. And
yeah, one of those that happens all in one night.
Yeah.
Right? So there's all this activity going on, but you're like, oh my gosh, you're there. The sun hasn't even come up yet.
Exactly. So it's one of these that just, it takes over. And I don't want to give away too many of the scenes because they are wild. They are crazy. And I remember the one where they're just in the house and they're basically finding out what's going on. And it's pure chaos. This whole movie was pure chaos. In the opening scene, there's a nice little nod to some other shows. And they make lots of references in this movie to other stuff, with some of it being very, very clear. Gilmore Girls, they crushed that.
So
did you catch this one? The opening sequence with the numbers 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42?
No.
It says it on the chalkboard, do not use. You know what those numbers are, right? That's from Lost.
Yes.
The famous numbers from Lost.
Crossovers here. I was just impressed that they were like, oh, they're using a Disney song. Ben Schwartz played Simon and he's singing a Disney song and I'm going, oh, this is when you get Disney rights to everything and you can use it in a rated R movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun to me, but
there was another little Keith David. Mm-hmm. You know, Keith David here in the movie.
So sad.
Apple has this, I don't know if it's written, unwritten rule where if a bad guy in a movie uses a phone, it can't be an iPhone. Keith David's the bad guy, uses an iPhone in this movie. So how'd they get away with that? Like, there's a lot of these little, and that's one that a lot of people don't even know about. Like, that's
didn't know about that.
You do it? You knew about that one?
No, I didn't. I'm intrigued. I want to know how they got away with that, and who else noticed that?
Yeah, I picked up on that because that's not common to see the villain or the so-called bad guy, whatever you want to call him, in a movie or a TV show use an iPhone. Go see if you can find anybody doing that. What scenes stood out to you?
No matter what happens, you got to chloroform the guy who opens the door, right? So this is like the instructions. He goes to the door and it's Nick at the door, right? Because we find out later that's present now, Nick. Yeah. My question is, would you be able to follow through with the instructions if something that weird happened?
I don't know.
Because you see him kind of hesitate and then he's like going for it. I don't know if I would go through with that. I would be like, what are you doing here? I thought you were in the car.
You'd probably, I don't know, you would probably have to give me a little more information up front, and I'd probably be more okay with it. If you told me I was going to go up there and see another version of you, then I'm going to be like, all right, appreciate you letting me know. So I wasn't shocked when I got up, kind of one of them things. But yeah, I don't know if I could follow through. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
because I think that if you told me, and I'm not an assassin, so what do I know? But like if it
Yeah,
was a job I had to do, and they were like, the guy who answers the door is going to look exactly like me. Just know that.
yeah,
I'll explain that later, but I want you to just do this thing, right? Then I'm like, okay, I know what to expect. Like I know what I'm going in there for. But if he answers the door like it happens in this movie, my thought was, I don't think I would still go through with it. I think I would probably hesitate and go, wait, why are you in the house? I thought
yeah.
you were in the car. What's going on? You know?
I'd be all kinds of confused. Yeah, honestly, real answer, no, I couldn't follow through because I'd be so confused at what was going on that I wouldn't know probably how to act. Uh, it's not every day you walk into that type of situation. You know, I like the scene, the after party. You know, Sosa's son, Jimmy Boy, celebrating getting out of jail, 4 parties deep into a bender. And the 3
I'm
leads
tired.
plus future Nick decide to stop running and just liquidate the problem. Neon-soaked tactical sweep of a mansion filled with bumbling but dangerous mobsters. This is wild to me. You know, you got future Nick acting like a video game veteran who knows where all the enemies are spawning in, while Mike is just trying to keep his no-killing streak alive and failing miserably, by the way. And then you got the climax here when they think they've won. Dying Jimmy Boy gets one last shot off, and he hits present Nick in the neck. And then we get the present Nick bleeding out in the back seat. The Oasis, don't look back in anger. I thought it was incredible. This whole final.
Fantastic. Matt was actually singing along next to me.
Yeah, right?
My stoic husband, who was like, this is a great song.
But
Singing along with them.
the final act of this thing really did. It had you singing out loud. Like, it was wild.
Yeah.
You know? That's crazy, though, that Matt was
up ahead of time, too. When earlier in the movie, Alice does something to present day Nick.
Yeah.
He stabs him or something. And then they check to see if future Nick ends up with a scar or like, does it affect?
Yes.
And so you knew that if something happens to present day Nick, you know, as he's bleeding out in the car, you're like not sure if he's going to make it. You're realizing this whole time that if he goes, other Nick is going to go too, right?
Yeah.
Hence.
Yeah, and you got a paradox here too, because it's as present Nick is dying and dies, future Nick starts to fade away like Marty McFly. And you know, at the enchantment under the sea dance in Back to the Future. To me, that's a parallel frequency type of moment, you know, a character literally watching himself cease to exist while singing some Britpop Oasis Don't Look Back in Danger, you know, or Don't Look Back in Anger. I think there's a sequel going to come too, you know, because Alice reveals that there's a second time machine. So Mike realizes he's going to have to go back to the start of the night to save everybody, turning the whole movie into one giant loop. We kind of saw something similar with, what was the movie? Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
That's right. That's exactly what I was thinking. It reminded me of how many times have you played out this night?
Yeah.
So that you get it right and maybe save some lives. That's what they're about to do. So I would be all for a sequel if they went that direction.
I was highly shocked and surprised by this movie and highly entertained more than anything. So a sequel to this, I'll be the first in line on my couch to watch it at home because it'll probably be on a streaming service. I think the movie was incredible. I thought the idea was great. I thought the execution was even better. The acting, chef's kiss, as they say.
Yeah,
that's my final thoughts on
Vaughn's character, like this type of character. Because I mean, let's be honest, and no criticism whatsoever, but Vince Vaughn is one of those kind of actors who he plays himself in different versions, in different characters, in different movies, right? Like, does a fantastic job. He just doesn't deviate too far from just this Vince Vaughn who he is. And I think Nick is the perfect character for him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Love this movie. You got to watch this movie. Go watch it. It's on, what was it on? Hulu Prime? What was it on?
Hulu. Yeah.
Hulu. Disney Plus, Hulu, all that.
that we're talking about. You can watch it on Disney Plus, I'm sure, too, if you want. They've just got all of those thrown together.
Yeah. Yeah. You got any more thoughts on this before we get into Freaky Friday?
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited for Freaky Friday. But let me just say before we end with this movie that as a person who works in the energy link, this is my frequency I bring to parallel frequencies. The idea of self-reflection, of being able to see yourself as you truly are and as people see you, is played out really well. I think in these time travel type, parallel universes type of movies, the science fiction of it, you get a chance to peek at what it would be like to see yourself and reflect on that. And sometimes you see things you don't like, or you see things that you regret, or you feel guilty, or you feel shame about. And I love seeing that play out in this movie. I mean, it was a super funny movie. Obviously, it's a thriller. You got a lot of action going on. But I just want to point out that there is also this deeper level of maybe drama going on in the genre too, in that you see Nick's character. He's only 6 months away from present day Nick. So the 6 months difference. And the way he played such a different character, because it's subtle. It's the same person, but future Nick is a little wiser, a little more self-aware, and is able to look at himself and go, I don't like that asshole.
Yeah.
I don't like that guy. And I'm not him anymore. And I won't be him anymore, and that's really powerful, because healing, as I have said 1,000 times on Practically Magic, and I will say it everywhere I possibly can, healing is witnessing. It's not fixing anything. It's just witnessing yourself. So in this case, Nick being able to witness himself and be like, I know that guy. I understand that guy. I have compassion for that guy. I know why he is the way he is, but I don't want to be him anymore.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Great acting job, too, because you got to play two different characters as the same person.
The same person, 6 months apart.
Yeah, that's a great perspective, great point out, great view, Coco. Let's get to Freaky Friday, because I'm excited, too.
Yeah.
And we did Boy Meets World. Was that last week? Last week. We did Boy Meets World. We got a lot of feedback on some of this stuff. You got at Cody Rogers 1300 says Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And we got a lot of these. At Aaron Palmer 983 Step by Step. At Kyle says, and they're talking about TGIF lineup. He says Wonder Years Boy Meets World.
I was going to mention it.
Yeah. Yep. So there's a lot of people that jumped in on this. They had a good time commenting on TGIF stuff. Here's a fun one. At Popeye6659 says, because we were talking about having crushes on Topanga in Boy Meets World. He says, I had a crush on Thelma from Good Times. Yes, I'm old. No shame there. No shame there, Thelma. Hottie.
No, not at all. Love that for you.
And at Kane Allen says, I'm born in 83. Please stop talking about this as if it's old as shit. Listen, I was born in 83 yet too. I'll just give you my age now. And this movie that we were talking about that you're mentioning, the Sleepaway Camp, is old as shit, okay? Sorry. I'm sorry, Kane Allen. You're going to have to just...
It's a little obvious when you watch it.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to say it when you watch it.
One more comment on Sleepaway Camp. And we had a comment, did Ricky know? And at Jennifer Long Harris, he didn't know, she says. And we had a couple people jumping in on that, trying to say if he knew, if he didn't know.
Jennifer, I felt that.
Yeah, so one more towards Sleepaway Camp. At Evan Vittorino says, the only accurate way to describe the 80s is aggressive. Correct.
That's
and this
so
movie,
accurate.
and Sleepaway Camp was one of the most aggressive movies from that era, right?
I mean,
crazy.
The kids. Okay, I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, but when was it we did it? Wednesday, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I was like, even the kids, when she gets thrown in the lake by the bullies and they're laughing at her, and then Ricky's kind of like trying to help her and pull her out. The kids are throwing sand at her.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is everybody so mean?
They were awful.
Call me snowflake if you want. I just think people should be kind to each other, okay? I just
They
think
should.
we need more love and kindness in this world, and that's all there is
Big
to it.
time. Big time. But that's going to do it. And I hope we get a great weekend this weekend. I hope prom goes good for you.
What we're doing next week?
What are we doing next week?
Next week, I feel like I have to say it just because this movie, Mike, Nick, and Alice talked about the show we're going to talk about next week several times, and that wasn't even planned. I was like, I can't believe they're actually talking about this show. We're going to talk about it next week. It's Gilmore Girls on Wistful Wednesday.
Oh my gosh.
So
we're doing Gilmore?
Your catch up, do your rewatch, everybody. We know Gilmore Girls is back in the limelight. I don't know what it is about that show, but it was popular when it came out, and then it was quiet, and then it has had this rewatch revival in the last 5 years. So we gotta cover it. We're doing that next week.
A resurgence has happened. Did they make a new version of Gilmore Girls not long ago, a couple years back?
Did they? Did they do like a reunion show or reboot?
I feel like they did a reunion, revival.
I can't say for certain that happened.
I thought it was on Netflix or something, maybe. I could be making all that up. I guess we'll look at it when we do our deep dive on Gilmore Girls.
Girls next week, because all of the shows, movies next week are Mother's Day themed. So,
oh my gosh.
Listen, Mother's Day is Sunday.
That's
we
right.
want everybody to know that mothers are the mother, okay? All y'all. And not if you've birthed children. That's not the only mothers we're talking about. I mean, everybody who deserves that title of mother because they mother. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they mother. So we're celebrating all the mothers of fur babies, of their community, of their mothers, all the mothers. We're celebrating next week. So we're going to be doing all the movies and shows. Movie Monday will be Hamnet. Okay.
Right.
Now, granted, that one could be a mother's and father's, but let's give her the credit that she deserves. The mother of Hamlet. So we're going to watch that. We're going to do that movie for Monday. We are going to do an overview of Moms of TV for Tube Tuesday next week. So
I can't wait.
That one's generally broad, all the mothers.
We got a couple of interviews with some TV moms. Maybe we'll put those in there. We've talked to Patricia Richardson. Who else did we talk to?
Lawrence.
Mama's
family, right?
Mama. We'll put that up. We'll put that interview up. I guarantee we'll put that interview up. It'll be never before seen. She's wild. I'm going to tell you, I remember that one. You remember how wild she was?
We're gonna have to cut out a couple of things that she said, but we've got some good. We got a little bit there that we talked to Vicky, and she's amazing. I love her.
All right.
Yeah, Gilmore Girls, obviously Wistful Wednesday. We'll be doing Trailer Park Thursday as we normally do, and then Feature Friday we're doing Undertone. Now that might not be Mother's, but we had to stick that movie in somewhere, and we had to do it. So,
have you seen it yet? No. I watched it. I watched it right here in my studio. Late at night, dark, everything, and it added to it. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a soundscape.
Okay.
It is. It's a fun. Yes, get ready for that. I can't wait. I'm already hyped up about that.
All right.
Happy Mother's Day to you, Coco.
Thank you.
There you go. Make sure we get that sent to you. Send your comments to Coco tell her Happy Mother's Day. Send your gifts. She's probably got an Amazon wish list. Go get that.
Just buy me a coffee. Guys, buy me a coffee. I'm the happiest. Good to go. That's all I need.
I love that. Well, listen, that's going to do it for this edition of Parallel Frequencies. Whether you were ripping through a neon lit city listening to us or folding laundry in the suburbs, you were in the right place, okay? Right here, Parallel Frequencies. I am Just Blane. She is Coco. We are freaks. You are the freaks. Can't wait to see you next week. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on the other side.